My new work has been released. Welcome everyone to read my work in tomato novel. I hope everyone can enjoy it. Your attention is the driving force behind my writing, and I will strive to tell every story well. The book, The Rise of the Rat Country, mainly tells the process of Xiao Tangying leading his brothers from growth to success, and then to achievement. The story involves family, friendship, love, brotherhood, comradeship, and courtship. Through grand war scenes, delicate emotional descriptions, and interesting plot twists, narrate how a weak protagonist grows into a dominant figure in the interstellar world. The story is bizarre, winding, humorous, touching, and thought-provoking. It will make readers feel happy, light and refreshed, positive and cheerful, lively and happy family, and everything goes smoothly after reading. Chapter 1. Origins of the Universe. Interview with Xiaominglan. You are listening at novelfull.audio. An elderly female mouse sat on a chair with a cup of black tea in her hand. She took a sip and slowly said to the reporter Wujihong across from her, "The luckiest thing in my life was giving birth to 6 sons, and the most unfortunate thing was giving birth to these 6 sons," Wujihong asked. Number 34, why do you say that? Xiaominglan said. Number 34, my favorite of these sons are my eldest son Xiao Tangying, my second son Xiao Tanghua, and my 5th son Xiao Tangshuang. The eldest son, Xiao Tangying, is now the king of the universe. He unified the 12 mouse kingdoms on Earth, organized the migration of the Moon and Mars by the mice on Earth, led the entire universe to break out of the solar system, and colonized the Milky Way. My second son is very good at studying. He created the founding of the universe, which guided 5 billion mice on Earth to achieve ideals that other creatures had not achieved. My 5th son, Xiao Tangshuang, is the cutest. His ability to fight and his contributions to the founding of the universe are unmatched by any mouse. But he was ultimately killed by his own brother. They are so close brothers. After Xiaominglan finished speaking, tears welled up and she unconsciously fell into contemplation. She recalled her young self. There is a nest of little mice in Hall 6 of the Xin Plaza store in Jumei Xin Chi Cinema. My dad's name is Xiao and my mom's name is Xiaominglan. They live a very happy life. Go out together every day to find food, play around together, and watch movies together. Whenever the sun comes out, they start a day of dreamland. Day by day, Xiaominglan suddenly fell ill. Wife. What's wrong with you? Xiao asked anxiously. I feel uncomfortable. Xiaominglan said with a yellow face. Xiao is in a hurry. What should I do? We don't have any relatives at home. I don't even know how to treat the illness. He paced back and forth, using his brain to think of a solution, but could never imagine it. He lay beside his wife and started crying. Don't worry, I will get better. Remember when we met, I was also sick, wasn't I? Xiaominglan comforted her husband. Then say. Number 34, also. You quickly give me the cat's cheat back, a male mouse, crying and crying all day long for me. Have I not killed you in the past few days? What's the use of crying? If you encounter problems, you have to solve them. I can't see you like that. I know, but, wife. I'm afraid you'll feel uncomfortable, said Xiao. Xiao is very anxious. His favorite, the only mouse in the world that cannot be lost, Xiaominglan, is sick. He is at a loss what to do. He remembered what his mother had told him when he was a child, that when you were sick, you should drink more water and hot water in order to get better. So he walked to the bed and held Xiaominglan's hand. Xiao said, Darling. You need more. Xiaominglan interrupted. Number 34, don't meow me to drink more water. Drink plenty of hot water, the illness will improve. Xiaominglan looked at Xiao angrily, meow. Drink plenty of water whenever you feel a little sick. Can you have some other lines? Xiao Tangmu's words were interrupted and he choked back, almost unable to catch his breath. Xiaominglan said, "If you really want me well, you can get me some water, but be careful of safety." Husband. Hurry up and get me some water or medicine, just don't bother. Xiao Tangying left his warm home on horseback and went to his studio. He put on his work shoes and clothes, took out his mouth-propping ball, and tried his best to put it into his mouth. He felt a lot of pain, but at this moment, the scene of Xiaominglan happily drinking the water he had brought and jumping up comfortably came to his mind. Xiao Tang felt that this pain was nothing at all on the wooden horse. After taking out the ball, he bulged his mouth and stuffed it back. After doing it dozens of times, the mouth exercise finally came to an end. Next, he began to stretch his waist, arms, and legs. Although he had traveled countless times to fetch water, he always followed his father's teachings, which were, every trip of the little mouse is an adventure, and we must take every trip seriously. After warming up, he walked out of the studio and arrived at the cave entrance. He looked at the vast night and remembered the happy time of playing with Xiaominglan during the day. Infinite happiness surged in his heart. He stretched out his long legs, raised his nose, and strode out of the cave. Number 34, Ms. Minglan. Ms. Minglan with a loud bang, reporter Mouse Wujihong gave Xiaominglan a mouthful and woke her up. Xiaominglan was interrupted from her thoughts by a mouth that was extremely red, and came back to her senses. Infinite red question. Number 34, Ms. Minglan, are you satisfied with your son's achievements? Xiaominglan covered her face and said, if we look at the achievements of an ordinary mouse, I am quite satisfied. My eldest son grew from an ordinary little mouse to the king of the universe, managing 5 billion mouse civilians. The second son, Xiao Tangying, created the founding of the universe, which is the only work of all living beings in the universe and has a profound impact, making it the most invincible theory of the universe. 5 sons, Xiao Tang, fought in 7 cities and made great contributions to the establishment of the universe country. He went through the bloody battles of Cabbage City, the Great Fire of Red Valley, the capture of Sun Town, the Battle of Qingxing Lane, the Legend of Fenghua Town, the surrender of Far Valley, and the takeover of Sun City, all of which were classic battles. Infinite red question. Number 34, your 5 sons are quite aggressive. Xiaominglan said, what are you saying? Is it so easy to unify the universe? Can they unify the 12 rat kingdoms of the world without war? Can they organize mice to immigrate to Mars and the Moon? It's even harder to leave the solar system. You don't have much quality as a journalist. What question is it called? Infinite red says. Number 34, say one more thing. I don't have the quality anymore. He is not belligerent and has fought so many battles. Xiaominglan said, what do you mean by meowing again today? You're here for an interview, what are you doing? What newspaper did you send the article to later? How can I listen to your attitude? It seems like I don't like my sons. Get out of here. Are you rolling or not? Infinite red says. Number 34, I'm not getting out of here. We journalists have an attitude. Besides, you have charged us dozens of bags of peanuts for the interview fee, and we must complete the interview. Xiaominglan was so angry that she didn't say a word. With excitement, she fainted and began to recall her youth. Xiaominglan's husband Xiao Tangying walked out of the cave entrance. He first headed straight to the first sniffing point, which was a corner of the wall more than 1 meter away from the cave entrance. Xiao Tangying scanned the surroundings with his eyes and listened carefully with his ears. There was only a normal and familiar noise, confirming safety. Xiao Tangying took a sword step and quickly leaped forward, hardly needing to smell the scent marks he made along the way. After all, he had not forgotten another iron rule taught him by his father, which was that rats can have nothing, but memory must have it. Remember every discovered and basically safe road. This was what Xiao Tangying learned when he first traveled with his father. Xiao Tangying ran quickly towards the place where he was fetching water. Xiao Tangying's father is a mouse who has fought against cats and has a lot of combat experience. Xiao Tangying remembers that since his own memory, his father has been teaching him about survival, foraging, fighting with cats, cat habits, and the world of mice. Now that my father has passed away for a long time, he misses him too much. As he approached his second sniffing point, Xiao Tangmu's mind suddenly saw Xiaominglan waiting at home to bring back the sweet and delicious mineral water. The more he thought about it, his footsteps couldn't help but quicken a lot. At this moment, two blue highlights suddenly appeared behind me, getting bigger and closer. Not good. That's the cat's eyes. Xiao Tangmu let out a loud cry. There's a cat number 34. Xiao Tangmu felt as if he had been electrocuted, and immediately reached the fastest speed. He quickly arrived at the second sniffing point, which was a brick left over from decoration and forgotten under the fire hydrant. In a hurry, Xiao Tangmu collided with the brick bucket, with stars shining in his eyes, and began to spin and shake on the ground. The cat behind was momentarily stunned and thought to itself, this cat mouse doesn't need to self-harm like this. I want to eat live mice, so he'll start with a mouse head. The big cat stretched its head in confusion and slowed down its pace. Xiao Tangmu shook for a while, woke up, jumped up and quickly passed by, rushing towards the next sniffing spot. Chocolate popcorn. This sniff point is what Xiao Tangmu would love to smell the most. For some reason, there is a wall in the right corner of the cinema that has a strong chocolate flavor of popcorn. Perhaps there was once a pile of popcorn sprinkled here, or maybe someone was popping popcorn in this place. Xiao Tangmu spent a whole day thinking about how this third sniff point used to look. How much he wished this place was still a place for popcorn. So he can bring Xiaominglan to enjoy the delicious chocolate-flavored popcorn sprinkled on the ground every night. There's no time to think too much. Xiao Tangmu caught sight of the big cat behind him and was silently chasing after him, as he was about to catch up with Xiao Tangmu. Xiao Tangmu took a turn and crawled through the crack in the door to reach the third sniffing point, which was not far from the place where the water was taken. A large fireproof door separated the cat from the door. Xiao Tangmu took a few breaths and arrived at a pool. After jumping in, he could see a step in the pool. There was a water pipe head on top of the step, continuously dripping water. Xiao Tangmu and Xiaominglan drank and collected water here every day. Xiao Tangmu looked up and saw no one, so he jumped directly into the pool and skillfully stood on the steps. The water was flowing drop by drop. Xiao Tangmu opened his mouth and began to take in a lot of water, almost bursting his mouth before stopping. At this moment, a sound came from the ear, meow, the cat has already arrived. Chapter 2. Life is not easy. You are listening at novel full.audio. De co lois ara trong quatrin lay text. Chapter 3. Husband's efforts. You are listening at novel full.audio. De co lois ara trong quatrin lay text. Chapter 4. Sons have been born. You are listening at novel full.audio. I cannot die, I absolutely cannot die. Xiao Tangmu struggled and suffered. Gradually, he lost consciousness. At home, Xiaominglan is still waiting for her husband to come back and bring her sweet water. She was a bit unconscious again, and the waves of abdominal pain kept her unconscious. She felt several heartbeats in her stomach, and she didn't know what was wrong with her. Thirsty and hungry, my husband hasn't come back yet. After an unknown amount of time, she woke up and reluctantly stood up to go to the kitchen to see if there was anything to eat. I searched around and found only one peanut. She ate it. Slowly, she moved her heavy body back to the bed. Imagining one's future, past, present. The days spent playing with my husband were so carefree. Life is so happy. It was like when she was flying to her mother's house, there was a very large lake. Her mother told her that the lake was called Manhu. At home, she played with her brothers, and sisters, carefree, and enjoying happiness. Since settling down with Xiao Tangmu in the cinema, these days have been a wonderful life bestowed upon her by heaven, and she is immensely happy. The world of two mice with Xiao Tangmu is different from when he was at his mother's house. Xiaominglan endured another day, but her husband hasn't returned yet. She was in excruciating pain, feeling her stomach bloating. She felt a bright voice calling out, "Wow! She has already started giving birth to a baby." A childish face looked at her. "Mom!" Xiaominglan smiled, and a son was calling her. She was just about to pick him up. "Mom!" Another voice called her, and Xiaominglan was surprised. She looked aside and realized that her second baby had been born. She's also a son, she's really happy. "Mom! Mom! 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 Mom!" She heard 4 consecutive sounds of "mom." Little Minglan was stunned, only to see a small group of 4 more little babies looking at her, shouting happily. Xiaominglan fainted. 6 little mice were shaking their mother desperately, but they couldn't wake her up. The largest one started crying, "Ah! Mom! I want my mom." The other 5 looked at him, all arching towards his mother's nipples, they were so delicious. His 5 younger brothers began to suckle. The biggest anger, "What are you doing? I'm the boss, get out of here." The little brothers were so scared that they stopped sucking. At this moment, Xiaominglan woke up and looked at her 6 lovely sons before realizing that they were all her babies. She was pregnant with 40 days of results. "But my husband hasn't seen the birth of these babies, why hasn't he come back yet?" She quickly identified these 6 sons. The eldest was taller, the second had smaller ears, and the other 4 were a bit difficult for her to distinguish. So she asked them. "You 4, tell Mom. Which of you saw the light first?" "Mom. I saw it first." A mischievous little rascal with bright eyes raised his hand and said, the other 3 looked up and said, "My second one. My third. My fourth." Xiaominglan looked at their silly energy, really like Xiao Tangying. Xiaominglan rested for half a day and her body began to improve. However, by this time, the family was already in chaos, and her 6 sons had already turned the house upside down. The boss flipped out all her clothes and sent them to several younger brothers to establish his authority. The second one kept sniffing around the room, searching for food everywhere. The 4 brothers fought fiercely together, grabbing everything they encountered and refusing to let anyone down. The sons were competing for food and drink, and Xiaominglan knew that something must have happened to Xiao Tangying. She decided to go find her husband, but what about so many newborn sons? It's impossible to take these little treasures on an adventure. So she wanted to raise her sons until they were 6 days old, and then take them out together to find their father. So, Xiaominglan began to say to her sons, "Children. Because your father has gone out and hasn't come back, we need to go find him. Then go ahead." The boss said, and the other children also said, "Go. Go." Xiaominglan said, "Children. You're still too young to go out immediately because it's dangerous outside. You have to work hard to eat and grow faster. You can go out when you're 6 years old." So, Xiaominglan started breastfeeding the children, and when they fell asleep, she went out to find some food near the cave entrance. After all, this is a cinema. There are a lot of food crumbs every day. Xiaominglan wandered around the cinema twice and was full. Starting to walk home, upon arriving home, all the sons were lying on the bed, sleeping soundly. The eldest's legs were pressed against the third's face, the second's arms were pressed against the fourth's belly, and the 5th and 6th slept soundly together. Watching her son sleep so soundly, Xiaominglan decided to go out and run around again to find her husband. She followed the corner of the wall marked with her husband and groped forward bit by bit. The distance we walked this time is the farthest. She had an ominous feeling in her heart, as if something was about to happen. She walked a little longer, but still didn't find anything. There were only some scraps of paper along the way. So, Xiaominglan began to walk back. She found a pile of popcorn, which tasted creamy. It's great now and can be eaten by her sons for many days. She stuffed the popcorn into her mouth, filled it up and ran home, time and time again, finally bringing all the popcorn back home. The sons haven't woken up yet. She went to the pool a few more times to transport water back home. The water tank at home was full, the water was enough, and the rice bin was also full. She looked at her sons with satisfaction, imagining the scene of her sons playing with Xiao Tangying and taking photos of them. She couldn't help but smile at the corner of her mouth. If only my husband were here. She thought and fell asleep. She returned to her mother's home in Feelingdo, where her parents were busy. Chapter 5. What is Catology? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xiaominglan's father is sick, and she has to go back to her mother's house to take care of him. Her sons are all old now, and she can rest assured to go out for a while. So Xiaominglan returned to Feelingdo with her 6 sons. Xiaominglan named all her sons, the eldest named Xiao Tangying, the second named Xiao Tanghua, the third named Xiao Tangjue, the fourth named Xiao Tangdai, the fifth named Xiao Tangshuang, and the sixth named Xiao Tangjiao. After naming them, the sons cheerfully shouted at each other. At Feelingdo, Xiaominglan found a school for her sons and arranged for 6 of them to attend. Xiaominglan thought of her mother, then of her husband, and still wanted to find her own husband. So Xiaominglan went out again, returned to the cinema, searched around a lot, and finally found her husband. Her eyes were filled with tears as she caressed her husband's body. Scenes of how my husband died and the scene at the time of his death come to mind. What should I do? Xiaominglan thought to herself. My sons are still so young, what should I do? Xiao Tangying and 5 younger brothers started going to school. Mom sent them to the first elementary school in Feelingdo. Today is the first day of school, and Xiao Tangying and her brothers held their mother's hand and arrived at the school. Wow! There are many mice in school, I have never seen so many before. Xiao Tangying thought to herself. The teacher placed Xiao Tangying in the last row. He is relatively tall and sitting in the front row will block the children behind him. His desk mate is a mouse named Fada, and he starts talking when he sees Xiao Tangying. Fada's father is an engineer in a factory that specializes in manufacturing plows, and his family is relatively wealthy. Xiao Tangying quickly became good friends with France. Whether in class or after class, they love to talk and talk. The homeroom teacher is quite strict, and the children all look at the teacher like they have seen a cat. This homeroom teacher is called Wuji Yanhua. There are a total of 45 students in the class. The main courses include mathematics, Catology, mouse history, human history, and predation. A new book has been published, and everyone is flipping through it with novelty, but they don't recognize a single word. The teacher has a big ear and a chubby face. She is a mother mouse with years of teaching experience. The teachers at school all admire her because the classes she leads are famous for their excellent grades. Xiao Tangying thought that the course, Cat Studies, must be interesting. I have heard my mother talk about cats for a long time. These cats are our archenemy, and I have never seen a cat before. He opened the book and started reading it. The first page was an introduction to the editor of the book. Wow! The introduction alone has 2 full pages. The editor of the book is a renowned top group master in the mouse world. He comes from a poor family, but he is determined to overcome the natural enemy of rodents. Cats. Through learning and research. He constantly exercised his body, crossing the sea from the southern city of Haikou in China, visiting various rodents along the way, accumulating experience, recording observations, summarizing the methods and experiences of rodents in dealing with cats, and personally fighting against cats 138 times. Finally, he compiled this classic book on rodents, Catology. Xiao Tangying has been in Feelingdo for 2 years now, and he has a good understanding of this city. The weather here is relatively warm. Today is another foggy day. After waking up in the morning, he ate some food that he searched for outside yesterday, which was some chili peppers and sliced meat. Xiao Tangying's stomach was not very good, but he still ate it. I just finished eating and found my stomach uncomfortable. He began to regret eating food with chili peppers. Wuji Yanhua held a class meeting for Class 2, demanding that everyone abide by discipline and not allow any mice to leave the school. The younger brothers all entered this school, in Class 2 and Class 3, respectively. The second and third brothers, Tang Hua, were relatively honest, while the fourth brothers often fought and bullied other mice together. He, who was the big brother, couldn't help but take care of everyone, so the 6 mice gradually became the famous 6 heroes in Feelingdu First Primary School. When it comes to the title of Lu Meng, many students are very scared. My brothers are also very impressive, but my mother always tells Xiao Tangying to lead my brothers to study hard and become high-ranking officials in the future. He also wants to lead his younger brothers to study well, but only Tang Hua, the eldest and youngest, is good at his studies and has always been a good student in the class. In school, it's boring studying every day, and the happiest time for my brothers is after class. Every time after class, the brothers gather together to fight with other little mice, steal holes, and steal peanuts. Chapter 6. Teacher's Diligence. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. De Co Lois Ara Trong Quatrin Lay Text. Chapter 7. Little Tang Ying's Troubles. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Listening to music has become popular in schools, which is learned from humans. Because 40% of rodents live around humans in their kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms, workplaces, etc., rodents are the first to know about all human inventions and new things. The rodent specialist in charge of research will write a report on these new things and submit it to the Research Institute, which will decide whether to send rodent soldiers to steal back the new things or retrieve them from the garbage dump. Nowadays, this type of cassette tape recorder is becoming popular in schools. The recording function can play magnetic tapes, which can record more than 10 songs. At the end of class, Xiao Tangying took out her recorder and started playing music. A few close classmates gathered around to listen, only listening to the music. You were the eagle in the sky that day, flying in the heavy rain and listening to thunder. You are a sharp soldier in the field, running bravely and striving forward. You are a star in the universe, shining with warmth and a new dawn. Rat Country Cavalry, defeat the civet cat, only our cavalry. Number 34, the teacher is here. Number 34, someone shouted. Xiao Tangying quickly put away the recorder and started the class. Today is a math class, and everyone listened in confusion, mainly because they didn't understand multiplication. Everyone understands addition very well because they often go to human territory with their parents to search for food. If you discover a bag of peanuts, you will first have a full meal and then start transporting them to your home through your mouth, 5 at a time, until humans discover them. Otherwise, they will be transported overnight. Each mouse must remember how many times it has moved. Especially peanuts, which are the hard currency of Rat Country, can be eaten and used as currency to purchase other items. Xiao Tangying's recorder was bought for 50 peanuts. After class, the classmates got together again and talked about how there were 12 golden immortals in class 6 for 6 years, which were 12 big mice that were all very good at fighting. Boss Jin Xiong, very capable of biting, he can bite through the iron gate corner. The second son, Jinzigio, runs very fast. It only takes him 20 seconds to run from the human kitchen to the bedroom. Lao San, Jin Ji, is very skilled in planning. He once followed the 13th Regiment of the Rat Soldiers and fought against the Beaver Cat in the 6-lamp square for 30 rounds. He has seen and bitten real cats and enjoys reading. He has planned all the famous scenes of the 12 Golden Immortals. Lao Si, Jin Yu, is a cripple and his family is very wealthy. My parents are from Peanut Village and belong to the Field Mouse. I heard that they have 2 burlap bags of peanuts, totaling 10 million. Usually, the 12 golden immortals are invited by him to eat, drink water, drink beverages, and eat ice cream. He is low-key, incredibly powerful, and has much larger front teeth than a little mouse. Lao Wu, Jinka, specializes in practicing swordsmanship. He has a ghost-head big sword that can fly up and down, making it difficult for more than 10 mice to get close. Lao Lu, Jiniqiang, specializes in practicing the red sakura spear. A 1 centimeter long red cherry blossom gun, with a locked throat and skilled at piercing the throat in various ways, without firing falsely. Lao Qi, Jin Ming, specializes in practicing swordsmanship. His sword is like a lightning shooting star, with a cold light flashing through it, taking his life without hesitation. Lao Ba and Jin San specialize in training halberds. They wield 3 or 2 heavy iron halberds effortlessly, and any weapon they touch will either break or break. With great strength in both arms, tear the newspaper, paper case, and cigarette box with your hands, effortlessly. Once a halberd pierced through a large piece of milk candy. Lao Jiu, Jin Sen, specializes in practicing axes. Cut horizontally and straight, no need for tricks. Chop when you see something, chop when you see a mouse, without any reason. Old 10, the golden rooster crows, specializing in practice. With a squeak, it startles a group of mice. The sound waves passed by, and my hair stood on end. Old 11, Jinchuan, specializes in practicing flying knives. 12 small knives are placed around the waist, so there is no need to wear them close to the mouse. The knives move quickly without any visible mice, leaving only their reputation among the mice. Old 12, Golden Leopard, knows nothing. Number 34, what? What? How could there be someone who doesn't know anything? Xiao Tangying asked anxiously. That's how others spread it. I don't know either. Number 34, Huzi said in a daze. Number 34, they are going to Ludang Square tomorrow to kill the tiger-patterned fox cat. It's all spread. Number 34, really? Number 34, Xiao Tangying widened her eyes and asked. Chapter 8. Moving towards the goal. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. The 12 Golden Immortals are obsessed with practicing martial arts all day long, and their internal strength continues to grow. They have a goal, which is to catch a cat. They carried out a rigorous plan and made it public to all students in the school, which aroused excitement among all students. Especially female classmates, they regard the 12 Golden Immortals as heroes. Xiao Tangying gathered 5 younger brothers and prepared to follow the whole school to watch the 12 Golden Immortals catching cats. He said, the 12 Golden Immortals plan to go out of the cave the day after tomorrow and go to the 6 Lamp Square 5 miles away to catch the 3 cats, 1 cat and 1 cat. The plan is to use the second son, Jinzigio, as bait to lure the cat 3 bullies to the garbage dump in Ludang Square. The second son, Jinzigio, runs fast and can evade the pursuit of the cat 3 bullies. When Jinzigio lured Miao Sanba to the garbage bin, the 2 brothers, Jinka and Jinyiqiang, who were lurking behind the bin, went to battle together. Jinka chopped off Miao Sanba's left front leg, and Jinyiqiang stabbed Miao Sanba's right front leg. At this moment, Miao Sanba must have come to lie down in front. At this moment, Jin San, Jin Sen, and Jin Xiong all joined forces. Jin Xiong bit the tail of Miao Sanba, Jin San stabbed Miao Sanba's left hind leg, and Jin Sen chopped Miao Sanba's right hind leg. At this moment, Miao Sanba was unable to move, and the other brothers of the 12 Golden Immortals joined forces to subdue Miao Sanba. The 5 younger brothers listened with great interest. Second younger brother Xiao Tanghua said, the day after tomorrow is our homeroom teacher's class, I'm afraid I won't be able to go. Number 34. The third younger brother, Xiao Tangju, said, don't regret not going, this is a cat-catching battle, not a peanut-catching one. After passing this village, this shop will no longer exist. Number 34, Xiao Tangjue looked at his second brother and smiled mischievously. Fourth brother, fifth brother, and sixth brother also advised second brother to go, saying that it's okay to skip class for a day. So, the 6 brothers are all looking forward to the day after tomorrow. The 12 golden immortals here are also fully prepared. Every day, old 4 golden ewe and old 12 golden leopard will take their brothers to eat various delicious foods, such as peanuts, melon seeds, breadcrumbs, soybeans, rice, ham sausages, etc. I also took them to the hair salon to comb their hair all over. The 12 golden immortals were happy and full of energy, vowing to bring the 3 cats back to school and show them to their classmates and teachers. Cat learning should not only focus on reading books, but also work hard. The day of the expedition has arrived, and the 12 golden immortals, surrounded by hundreds of classmates, have set out for an ambush. The 12 golden immortals each had shiny hair, their chests raised and their weapons held by 2 friends, waving to their classmates as they walked. The team gradually approached Ludeng Square, and the following group of mice began to retreat. The number of mice following behind the 12 golden immortals decreased, and in the end, only the 6 brothers remained. I saw Xiao Tangying leading, followed by his second and third younger brothers, followed by his fourth, fifth, and sixth brothers, trembling, with unusually heavy footsteps. The 6 brothers have already formed a long line. The 12 golden immortals are also here. The ones in front are Jin Xiong, Jin Zijiao, Jin Ku, Jin Yiqiang, and Jin San. The ones behind are Jin Ji, Jin Yu, Jin Sen, Jin Jiming, Jin Chuan, Jin Bao, and Jin Ming. Jin Bao has already urinated and dripped a stream of urine. He looked left and right, observing the 6 light square. At dusk, 6 street lights were distributed in the 6 corners of the square. As it was past 11 o'clock in the evening, there were no more people on the square, only scattered cola cans left, rolling and tinkling on the ground in the wind. Jin Xiong led 11 brothers to the designated ambush location. Iron barrel. Just as Jin Xiong leaned against the iron bucket, a foul odor of garbage rushed towards his face. Jin Xiong couldn't resist it and was also nervous. He vomited loudly, and the brothers following him also felt nauseous. Jin Zijiao, Jin Ku, Jin Yiqiang, Jin San, Jin Ji, Jin Sen, Jin Yu, Jin Jiming, Jin Chuan, Jin Bao, Jin Ming, all spat out one by one. The golden leopard spat out and whispered, "Can you still catch cats in this state?" Jin Ming said, "Cats need to be caught." "How about our reputation as the 12 golden immortals not getting bad anymore?" Number 34, Jin Bao said, "Do you think big brother, second brother, fifth brother, sixth brother and others have all vomited like this, and still have the strength to catch the cat?" Number 34, Jin Xiong angrily said, "Keep it down, Jinzigio, go." Number 34, I saw Jinzigio tiptoeing forward, running along the edge of the iron bucket, stopping 1 step at a time. Suddenly, a bloody mouth rushed over and bit Jin Zijiao's neck with 1 bite. His 2 sharp claws quickly kicked and kicked, very fast. Jinzigio opened his eyes and couldn't move. A big civet cat has already bitten Jin Zijiao to death. It's the 3 cats. Miao Sanba kicked his hind legs and made a deafening snoring sound. Hoo! 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 Splashing golden pride's blood from the mouth. Chapter 9. This War. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Jin Xiong watched helplessly as Jin Zijiao was bitten to death, covered in a layer of white sweat, and shouted, "Brothers, go up." Number 34, looking back, there wasn't a mouse behind me. By the time he turned around again, Miao Sanba had already rushed to his eyes, and Jin Xiong's entire body had hardened with sweat and hair. "Stand up on both hind legs." He opened his mouth to Miao Sanba, and the cat flower in front of him was 50 times that of Jin Xiong, with 2 big eyes emitting blue-green light. The eyes were also hundreds of times larger than Jin Xiong's, and his mouth was as big as 5 mice. It stopped when it saw Jin Xiong standing up, lifted its right front paw, and quickly slapped him. Each slap hit Jin Xiong's head heavily, and Jin Xiong also opened his mouth wide to try to bite the paw of the Miao 3 Ba, but the Miao 3 Ba always quickly withdrew, making it impossible for Jin Xiong to bite its paw. Jin Xiong still persisted and was not scared to pee. Miao Sanba tilted his head and slapped Jin Xiong more than 10 times. It then casually turned its head and looked into the distance. In the pitch-black night, there were no other mice, only the squeaking sound of Jin Xiong could be heard. The creaking cry continued to reach the 10 remaining brothers of the 12 trembling golden immortals 60 meters away. Everyone looked in horror at the 2 big blue-green eyes on the face of Miao Sanba in the distance, as if Miao Sanba had already seen each of their mice. Meow. Meow. 2 cat barks came from afar, faintly heard, the sound of the cat chewing on mouse bones one by one, quack, quack. The remaining 10 brothers of the 12 golden immortals tightly covered their mouths, tears streaming down their eyes. Everyone slowly retreated, hoping to quickly move away from this cruel and terrifying place. Xiao Tangying saw all of this in her eyes, and when she looked back, her 5 younger brothers were all sleeping soundly, not seeing anything at all. Little Tangying dare not wake them up. Because one by one, because the 3 cats have become cats. Meowing. Walking leisurely with cat steps towards the hiding place of little Tangying, there was no sound of footsteps. Its mouth is still dripping with mouse blood. On the cat's beard, there are a few mouse hairs sticking to it. 10 meters, 5 meters, 3 meters, 2 meters, Xiao Tangying held her breath. The snoring of the 5 brothers made Xiao Tangying feel that death had arrived. 1 meter away, Miao 3 Ba was about to come to him. At this moment, Xiao Tangying suddenly farted loudly. Suddenly waking up the 5 brothers, Miao Sanba also heard the sound of farts. Stopped and looked in the direction of the fart sound, my whole body remained motionless. Number 34, run. The cat is here. Number 34, Xiao Tangying let out a loud shout. Number 34, run. My goodness. Number 34, brother. Number 34, run. Quick, 6 brothers, they all run around with their heads in their arms. Miao 3 bullies see 6 black shadows, whoosh. Suddenly, he dodged in all directions, and Miao Sanba looked left and right, seemingly unable to see what it was. 6 little mice are nowhere to be found. Xiao Tangying ran wildly and quickly ran back home. It only took a few steps from the cave door to my own bed. Quickly, the 5 brothers also ran back home one after another. Returned to their respective beds. Mom had just fallen asleep when she was awakened by these hurried sounds. She looked down at her sons and walked over to Xiao Tangying's bed, taking a glance at her son. My son widened his eyes and looked at her, saying, "Mom, I want to have a late-night snack." Number 34, the sons next door are also shouting loudly. Number 34, Mom. Mom. I also want to have a late-night snack. Number 34. Chapter 10. Mom's Words. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Mother made a pot of peanut congee for her sons with sleepy feeling. The sons ate a bowl each and wolfed it down. Mom asked. Number 34, why did you come back so late today? Where did you go to play? Number 34. Number 34, 6 Lamp Square. Number 34, Xiao Tangying said while eating. Mom looked at her sons in surprise. Number 34, are you crazy? That's the territory of the 3 cats, how dare you go there? You're not going to die. Number 34, Xiao Tangying said. Number 34, 12 golden immortals want to catch cats. All the students in the school have gone. Number 34, Mom asked. Number 34, how many mice have been lost? Number 34, 2, Xiao Tangying said. Number 34, why are there only 2? I feel like there are 1,000. Number 34, Xiao Tangying said. Number 34, when we went, there were over 1,000, but when I woke up, we were the only ones left. Number 34, they all ran away. Number 34, Xiao Tangying said. Number 34, the loss is not significant. Number 34, Mom said calmly. Number 34, ah. The loss is not significant. Mom, the lives of 2 mice. Number 34, Xiao Tangying said. Mom said, children, we mice have been on Earth for 47 million years, while cats have been on Earth for 6.2 million years. Why? Because we rodents have evolved many advantages. Although cats are stronger than us, we rodents have never stopped moving forward. At present, there are a total of 5 billion rodents worldwide, while cats are less than 1 billion, and even the most powerful humans are only 7 billion people. Our rodents have gained a numerical advantage in their struggle against cats. Cats have a single type of food, with meat and cat food being their main food. And we rats, corn, melon seeds, chicken rolls, rice, oil, fruit, cabbage, pumpkin, carrots, potatoes, bean sprouts, spinach, meat hunting, chicken, beef, fish, human meat, peanuts, chestnuts, almonds, milk, cheese, human food. We have the ability to steal holes, cats cannot make holes. We can give birth 12 times a year, while cats can only give birth 4 times. We mice can live in groups and emphasize cooperation, while most cats come and go alone and lack teamwork. Although we rodents lose many members in every battle against cats, we have accumulated a wealth of experience through years of struggle, resulting in the creation of the book, Catology. The lifestyle of cats is to sleep during the day and come out to hunt at night. They cannot dig holes, have poor survival ability in the wild, and cannot store food. Cats like to eat fish, mice, and when hungry, humans also eat food, but mainly meat. Your 12 golden immortals choose to catch cats at night, which is exactly the hunting time for cats. Isn't this hitting the muzzle of the gun? How could you choose to catch a resting cat during the day? Besides, catching cats doesn't necessarily require manual action. Can you add poison to the bait and poison the cat to death? Number 34, yes. How could the 12 golden immortals not have thought of it? Xiao Tang exclaimed in amazement. Mom said again, the probability of mice and cats becoming food is 99% because cats are 50 to 100 times larger than mice, which is inherently unequal. Number 34, why do everyone want to catch cats? Number 34, Xiao Tang said. Number 34, because everyone wants to be a hero. Number 34, Mom said. Number 34, aren't everyone afraid of death? Number 34, Xiao Tang asked. Number 34, fear of death. But sometimes the impulse to become a hero is greater than the fear of death. After all, a mouse will eventually die, either more than 50 peanuts or less than a ping-pong ball. Anyway, it's all death. Death is a life stage that rodents must face. Mom spoke eloquently. Number 34, can't we live forever? Number 34, Xiao Tangying asked. Number 34, nonsense, Xiao Tangying scolded. Number 34, sure. Number 34, Mom said. Number 34, at present, human technology can enable individual humans to survive for over 100 years, while our current technology in mice can only enable us to survive for an average of 3 years. I heard there is a city called Sun City, where our rodent technology has surpassed that of humans and can make rodents immortal. Number 34, the 6 brothers opened their mouths wide and looked at their mother in surprise.